All right, so this set of notes is elimination method part 1. So elimination method, we are trying to get rid of the variable with the same coefficient, which is number in front by opposite signs. So positive or negative when adding the equations. Okay, so steps. So step number 1, which variable will you eliminate? So that means, are you eliminating your x's or your y's? So deciding which variable is going to be eliminated. Second step, do you need to multiply your equation so that you have the opposites in the coefficient? So do you need to multiply one, both, or neither equation to be able to eliminate? The ones that we worked on in class, you did not need to multiply either equation. It was already set up for you. And then step 3 is solve for x and y so that we get our solution, which is an x value and a y value, right? Okay, so now we're gonna do an example. Okay, so example number 1. Okay, example number 1, we have 2x plus 2y equals -2. The second equation is 3x minus 2y equals 12. Okay, so step 1, which variable will you eliminate? So when we're looking here, I notice that my y's both have 2 as the coefficient and one is positive and one is negative. So eliminate y's. Step 2, do I have to multiply so that I can eliminate those? Do I have to multiply by -1 or by anything in either of these equations in order to be able to eliminate them? Nope. It's already set up for us. So now I need to solve for x and y. So I'm going to add these two equations together. And when I do that, these are eliminated because 2y plus -2y is 0. And then I'm going to add my x's. So I have 5x equals -2 plus 12, which is 10. Okay, then I want to solve for x. So to get x all by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And we are left with x equals 2. So in my solution, I know that 2 is my x value. To solve for y, we want to plug it back into either equation. To solve for y. You know me, I like dealing with the equation that has less negatives, so I'm going to do the first equation. So I have 2, and then instead of x, right, I solved for x, so I know I'm going to plug this in for x. I made a set of parentheses plus 2y equals negative 2. I am plugging in, let's do orange. I'm plugging this in here, because that's what x equals. Okay, now I'm going to solve for y. So I need to multiply that number in front of the parentheses. So this gives me 4. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2y equals negative 2. I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides so that I can get closer to isolating that y. The 4's cancel out, and I have 2y equals negative 6. Divide both sides by 2. Y equals negative 3. And that is the y value to my solution. And that's it. That is my final answer. So that is example number 1. We have one more example that we're going to look at. So I'm going to flip the page. You can always pause the video to finish taking those notes, or rewind if you need to see it again. So let's do example number 2. And again, these are problems from your homework. So actually you are given this is number 3 on CW number 3. And the first one, I will share what it is as well. Let's see. Actually, I have it right now. The first one is problem number 1. Problem number 1 on CW number 3. Okay, so example number 2. Let me get back to it here. We have 6x plus 5y equals 4. And the second equation is negative 6x minus 7y equals negative 20. Okay, step number 1. What am I going to eliminate? Well, the x's are already set up for me. I have a positive 6x and a negative 6x. So I'm going to eliminate the x's. Do I need to multiply either equation in order to be able to eliminate them? Again, the x's already have a positive 6 and a negative 6, so nope, I don't need to multiply. So let's add these two equations together. Okay, so when I do that, my x's cancel out, and I am left with 5y plus negative 7y is negative 2y equals, and then 4 plus negative 20 is negative 16. Now I need to divide both sides by the coefficient in front of y, which is -2. I'm left with y equals -16 divided by -2. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So I have -8. So in my solution, I got the y value, +8. Okay, now we need to solve to find the x value. So I'm going to plug this y value back in. Again, I don't like the negatives. You can choose either equation. I'm going to pick this first equation to avoid the negatives. So I have 6x plus 5, and instead of y, I made a set of parentheses, equals 4. Plugging 8 in here. Okay, now I need to multiply, right? So I have 6x still. 5 times 8 is 40, equals 4. I'm going to subtract 40 on both sides. That gets rid of those 40s, and I'm left with 6x equals negative, 36. That, you can't read that. There we go. Sorry about that. Divide both sides by 6. X equals -36 divided by a +6. They're different signs, right? A negative and a positive, so I end up with a negative. And 36 divided by 6 is -6. And that is my solution. So if we were to graph these two equations, right, this would be the point where my two lines, what? Think about it before I write it down. The point where my two lines intersect. All right. Cool. That is it for this set of notes. There will be a part 2, which we will work on later on. Awesome. Thank you.